Today I'm out here working on this giant AAON unit. We put a Pelican Z8 on this unit. It has condenser water that it runs over the condenser coils for evaporative assisted cooling. It's a little bit of a nightmare, actually. Super fancy, just like most AAONs, but you have this added layer of complexity. A water system has to be integrated in, and the problem today, well, there's several problems, but one of the problems is when the cooling runs, the condenser pumps run, and this cabinet starts to fill up with water, and it doesn't drain quickly enough through this drain out the condensate. Probably needs to be blown out. So that's scary, because right here, just a few inches off the floor where the water starts to pool, is the 480 volt supply. So we've hooked up our Z8. I'm having an issue right now with the Z8 initializing, and so that's what we're kind of waiting on. You see this light flashing? That is the initialization light, like it's supposed to boot. So I'm waiting to hear back from Pelican to see why it will not boot. I had the thing running earlier. The reason I was called out was because the fan wasn't running. So the VFD had no start-stop signal, and it is that contactor there, and it had a bad common. And all I had to do was ground the common. I think someone probably replaced this transformer, didn't ground it or something. So it didn't end up getting grounded back to the common terminal block, somehow. So as soon as I grounded it, the contactor pulled in. So it's kind of like common side switching, right? So I traced my power through the G terminal, from the Z8 to the G terminal, and then from there it goes up to the contactor. And I had like 6 volts AC. I mean, it was really 24 volt, but it had a bad common. So as soon as I grounded that common, it was able to get the full 24 and pull in. And then it ran for a good 10 minutes, and this cabinet started to fill up with water. And then the Z8 just kind of died. So I lost connectivity, everything started to shut down, and the Z8 just doesn't want to boot up again. So good news, the Z8, after about 30 minutes, initialized, which is the right-hand light, and it's also the left-hand light. It's connected to the network. So the Z8 woke back up. I don't know what was wrong with it, but here I'm going to show you. We got to find this leak. As soon as cooling kicks on, the condenser pump starts to flow, and we get water. I mean, a lot of water. We got to find this leak. Oh, look at that. What the heck is that? What happens if I do this? I don't know what that is. I have to study the system and figure out why that's there. What is that? Why is it dumping water down the condensate drain? But that was the source of the leak. Hopefully I stopped it fast enough before it gets into the controls section, and so maybe now, because we're speculating that the water leak had something to do with the Z8. If it shorted out or something. Yeah, that was a good find. I'm worried now that maybe someone did that on purpose. Either somebody kicked it because it's down low, but if it was an accident, great, I fixed it. If it's not an accident, someone did that on purpose, there's some other issue with this water system that I don't know about. What's nice about these AAON units is they have a lot of fail-safes built in. So let's say water is now building up somewhere, and as soon as it builds up and let's say starts to try to overflow the basin or something, there ought to be like a high limit switch or something. I don't know, we'll see. I guess I'll just watch it. So it really just looks like this is the drain for the basin. Like if you needed to work on it, you would want to drain everything out first, and that's the valve to do it. So I wonder if somebody just bumped that. It's down on the floor, it'd be easy to kick. Somebody bumped it, or if they were servicing the the system and left it open by mistake. I don't know. AAONs are actually really nice to work on. It's kind of the Cadillac of units. They win the engineering awards regularly. They have really nice diagrams, and so when I was having problems with the VFD start-stop signal, I just came to the diagram and found my VFD here, and found relay R2 is the start-stop there, I believe. And so then I started tracing it back to the origin. You have a BR relay, which probably stands for blower relay. The blower relay coil here is triggered by G. So all I had to do was trace it and figure out where it came from. And the common comes from here. The commons are supposedly grounded, and when I found one of those transformers not grounded, so I guess it would be T2. It's supposed to come down here and be grounded, but kind of looks like someone replaced that transformer and did not connect the commons in where they were supposed to be. So I just, instead of having to kind of search through the whole unit and check every connection, I just grounded it very quickly close to the transformer, and assuming that these two terminal blocks actually are grounded, I've just fixed all of the rest of the circuits if any of the other ones were missing their ground as well. And I could see here that the terminal block, you see that jumper there, that is the ground strap. So I was pretty confident that adding a ground strap here would work, and work very quickly.